frameless, overlay frame, and closets, wherever you're setting gaps, top reveals, bottom reveals, things of that nature, you're going to be having to set your drawer front height. And the way that's done in the program is through change in set shop standards. What you're going to find is that in this case we happen to have the top drawer opening height to 5 1/16. And I'm going to show you why that's important. And I'm also going to come down to where we have our gaps. And if you notice, we have a top reveal base cabinet, which is an 1/8. And then we have gap between door and drawer, an 1/8. And then we have our bottom reveal for base cabinet set to 0. Now, with all that in mind, you'll notice that I just noted here top reveal an 1/8, gap between door and drawer an 1/8, and bottom reveal 0. Now, what comes into play is this opening height right here. Now, I made this drawer front half the size of the opening, so we're actually seeing the opening here, the opening height, and the width here with half a door on it. And I'm going to change this to the opening sizes. Now, you'll notice the opening height here shows 5 1/16. If we zoom in on it, you're going to see that that opening height is 5 1/16. It is important to realize that this top rail is 3/4 and this is 3/4. And let me show you exactly how this drawer front height is calculated. Now you'll notice, first of all, we take 5/8, which actually is the distance from this opening here up to here. And the way we got that was by taking the top spanner width, 3/4, right here, and we just took the top reveal and we subtracted it. That's how we got the 5/8 here. We then took the opening height, 5 1/16, and we added it to that number. And the only other thing we did was we went to the spanner here, the middle spanner width, we took the 3/4, we divided it by 2, which gives us 3/8 of an inch. So if we were to zoom in on this, what's happening is the gap center is right here, right in the middle of that spanner. But the drawer front actually is up a little bit. Well, it's up a little bit because we have a gap between door and drawer that's an 1/8. And if you took half of that divided by 2, you'd get a 1/16. Therefore, if we took the 3/8, the half of the spanner, minus the 1/16, which is the gap, half the gap between the door, we come up with 5/16. So basically, that drawer front comes over this spanner here 5/16 of an inch. So if we take all that information, 5/8 plus 5/16, 5 1/16 plus 5/16, that would give us our drawer front height, which would equal 6. So if I go up to the door size right here, you'll notice that it came out 6 inches tall right here. And that's how that number came up. And if you notice, the actual door is the remaining height, whatever that space is from that point, from the gap halfway down from the center, down to 0, which is whatever this opening height is, plus 3/4 of an inch because it overlaps that 3/4.